Hi everyone, CeeChronicles here. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're here for the very first time, I post fragrance related content on this channel 4 to 5 times a week and other mixed bag of content just to keep it exciting. Now, if that sounds like something that interests you, please do consider joining us here by subscribing. To those who are returning, thank you so much guys for the continued support. You are appreciated as always. Now, welcome guys to 6 fragrances within my collection that I would class as non-pleasing. The reason why I put them on this non-pleasing list is, one, they're not blind buy safe, if you will, maybe safe for one, okay? They're not trying to be liked. They could probably be unintentionally off-putting, and most of the compliments that you may get from these fragrances from people are likely because they want to know what you're wearing so that they don't buy it themselves. I have 6 in front of me here, and I'm just going to give you a reason why I have put them on this list. And we can do a little bit of a chit chat just to make things exciting here. So the very first one on this chopping board is Paris Corner's Wayward Charlie. I am not going to spray all these 6. I am rather going to smell them from the nozzle. Reason why I will not spray them is these have a tendency to stick, and because they're not exactly on my favorite list, they can get a little bit annoying because they are also strong. So this fragrance, guys, has everything beautiful if you read the notes. It has coconut, it has caramel, if I can remember. It has white florals, the tuberose, the lot, okay. But it interprets to a greasy, oily coconut doing the most, and a buttery caramel. And by buttery, I'm saying take out the yumminess, just keep the butter. That is what I get, guys, from Wayward Charlie. This one is inspired by Frank Borcla's cocaine. And Frank Borcla's cocaine is also in the same vein as Tom Ford's Orchid Soleil. There is like a popcorn note here as well. And the white florals are very bold. It kind of creates a clash of notes bordering on nauseating. So this can be polarizing, annoying, and unpleasant at the same time. It's one fragrance I'll definitely say do not blind buy unless what I am describing here is what you like. So if you like Orchid Soleil by Tom Ford, if you like Frank Borcla's cocaine, this is going to do it for you, because it's definitely a dupe of both, but it's a bold in those white florals with a greasy, oily feel to it. And it's sitting on our number 1, guys, Paris Corner's Emir Wayward Charlie. The second fragrance on this list, guys, and probably not being featured on this channel for the first time because of how I feel about it, is going to be Montal's Sweet Oriental Dream. This fragrance is almondy, it's nutty, it's got vanilla, it's got honey, and just that would make you think, oh, that's nice. What's wrong with it? Well, to me, it's not. This, guys, simulates baby powder. Just imagine baby powder or baby wipes, right? But this, guys, amplifies that by a gazillion. It's powder like no other, to an extent that this fragrance buries everything. I think there's a rose here, but I cannot smell it because the rose in itself doesn't even get a chance. It has that overpowering feel to it, overpowering smell, takes me to a hospital setting, that sort of thing. So to me, it's just a fragrance that is too powdery, too upsetting, if you will. I don't spray this on myself, and I haven't even sprayed it around the house for a very long time because this, I think, is sitting on a very high oil concentration and literally won't go away for almost, and not kidding here, for almost maybe 3 days, 4 days, even a week. So anyway, sitting on number 2, not blind buy safe, guys, is Montal's Sweet Oriental Dream. The third fragrance on the list, guys, is going to be Yara Moi. This I won't even sniff from the nozzle. First of all, let me say it's dull, reminiscent to corn. Okay, this to me, if I'm to give you a mental shortcut, it has to be like a little story. Say you went into a farm and then you asked to go into the silo where there's a lot of grain in there, and then you take that grain and you put it maybe in a bucket or something, dry grain, okay, and you leave it there outside because maybe you got distracted and you started doing something else, and then it rains on the same day. That dry corn gets soaked enough, but then you realize after the rain has gone that, oh my God, I left dry corn in that bucket. So when you get to that bucket, what you're going to be greeted by is dry, damp corn. In that very moment where you notice that your dry corn is now wet and it's giving you wafts of whatever dal scent you get there, there is a tree, a peach tree, close to that bucket with a lot of peaches that just fell there, mixing with rotten leaves there. So you get wafts of that, those rotten peaches as well, wafts of those rotten dead leaves, and at the same time the smell of earth coming up, as well as the smell of wet trees. This is all because it has stopped raining and there is a little bit of some sunshine coming out, so there is like that evaporation effect there. That's what I get from this fragrance, guys. A very dull smelling fragrance with wafts of rotten peaches. It is just a mishmash of everything. I know it might be a favorite for some, but I just had to be brutally honest. This fragrance is not blind buy safe. This fragrance is so not gift worthy. You need to know who you are gifting this fragrance. And I would say one of the most disappointing releases, guys, from Lattafa. So on our number 3 is going to be Yara Moi. On our number 4, guys, is going to be Randa by Al Rehab. I haven't been using this fragrance, guys. It's just been evaporating. In case you're thinking, oh, but you've been using it, so why is it there? Randa is supposed to be your emery, spicy, leathery scent with wafts of tobacco there, you know, within it. But this fragrance, when they made this fragrance, they should have checked whether it would be safe for human use. There is a lot going on in this. This, guys, is nuclear. Just to cut the long story short, it feels like Bahu in liquid form. It's very incensey. It will harass you. This is a fragrance you just want to sniff from the nozzle and leave it there. It is just super, super polarizing. Not a safe blind buy at all. I don't know if the bigger ones are better, but this, guys, just gives me oil concentration in a bottle, but with a lot of incensiness there, a lot of smokiness there, a lot of spices there, a lot of everything. Everything in here is just upbeat. Nothing is trying to be calm here. Everything is just speaking at the same time. And then at the end of the day, it ends up being a suffocating mess. So if you are the sort of person that loves your intense fragrances, if you're the sort of person that says, I have a nose made of stone, I cannot smell anything, try this one, guys. This one is called Randa by Al Rehab. Now, the 5th fragrance I had to add here, and don't come for me because I'm also one of those people that fell for the hype. This is Elixir Le Parfum, right? And when I introduced this video, I said some of them are going to be unintentionally offensive. This is a fragrance with white florals. It's got the African orange flower at the top there. It's got some honey going on in there, and it's got patchouli. It feels like if you were a bunch of students and you were told to try and put notes together to simulate bug spray, but in perfume form, this is what you would come up with. This fragrance, guys, starts off as a fragrance that you could completely and totally fall in love with. Smelling it from the nozzle, and yes, I will smell this one from the nozzle. Smelling this one from the nozzle is gorgeous. But there is just that annoying bug spray thing in this fragrance. It is a sort of DNA that is mature. It is a sort of DNA that maybe somebody who's used to fragrances the way that we've done a long time ago is going to appreciate this. It's not blind buy safe in a way. This is why I said I fell for the hype. I blind bought mine. I wish I could have, tested it first. It's a fragrance that is not too long lasting, but it just has that unmistakable annoying bug spray thing, possibly coming from that African orange flower. I don't know, but it just hits it on the mark there. And guys, that is just the brutal truth. In as much as I wear this fragrance occasionally, it is something that I have to think of because I know I'm going to be in that bug sprayish kind of scent bubble. And yes, I did not declutter it. For those who are thinking, well, then why didn't you declutter it? I did not declutter it, guys, because it is a DNA that maybe as I get older and older and older and older, I am going to, kind of gravitate towards. So I keep this one in its box, tucked away, just to make sure that it keeps for the longest time, but it's not exactly my favorite, guys. So this is Elixir Le Parfum, the last one that made it on this list, and I just haven't even gotten myself to do a review of this one, guys. This one is awkward because it is duping an awkward scent, simply put. Now, F.A. Paris the Fire is your unusual scent. This is what I call breaking boundaries when it comes to perfume making. This is so not your designer kind of scent. It is very nichey. It is a fragrance that is not trying to be liked. It is a fragrance that if you don't get it, then forget about it. That is the sort of thing I get from the Fire, guys. Burnt tires, a smoky feel, a rubbery feel, a ton of spices. Something here feels like tar. So that is the combination of the notes, or whatever this juice interprets as, at least to my nose. It is the sort of fragrance that if you went and you gifted it to somebody, if they don't get it initially, they're gonna think, is that what you think of me? You know, that sort of thing. It kind of has that DNA that can be bothersome if you're not too used to experimenting with fragrances and think, oh, okay, fine, I do get it. This is what they were trying to go for. So very unusual, unapologetic, strange scent overally, and it is called The Fire, inspired by Louis Vuitton's Nuit de Feu. So if you like what I just said, you can go and get yourself this, but it is so not crowd pleasing. Now that's a wrap, guys. That winds up this fragrance list. I only had 6. If I come across more, I will bring them here. The inspiration behind making this video was actually Yara Moi. It was a fragrance that just made me think, okay, I think I have a few more of you, and I'm going to bring them to people just to make sure that they know about them. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we obviously discuss more about fragrances. What are the worst fragrances you smelled out there? What are the fragrances that made you think, really? What other fragrances do you know, guys, that are just off-putting? I would love to know that in the comment section. Turn on post notification, guys. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. And have you subscribed? If not, then why not? Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Like and share this video, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.